Hey, what's up, guys? I'm real confused about something, so bear with me here. I just got news of the New York City shooting. There's a big public shooting by the Empire State Building, and I don't want to spread rumors to details because it's very early on. Just got the news this morning and figured I'd make a video on it. The purpose of this video is I want people who are for gun bans and people who don't like guns. I want you to explain something to me because I mean, I heard the news and it's tragic and it's horrible. And I thought, wait a minute, hold on, where'd this happen? Was told again, oh, New York City by the Empire State Building. I said, no, it couldn't have happened in New York City. They're one of the strictest anti-gun states, besides Jersey and California. And New York in general, particularly New York City, it's just so hard to get a gun. You can't have a gun. How could this possibly have happened? So please, if you're really against guns and you're for gun law, I need you to explain this to me. How can this possibly have happened if you can't legally have a gun there? I don't know. You explain it to me. But in the meantime, for everyone else, all you pro-gun people, enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. All right, so I was being a little sarcastic there. Well, I was being very sarcastic. I spread it on pretty thick. So I feel like I should make this, clarifying part of the video at the end in case you didn't pick up on that sarcasm. It was pretty thick. Hope you did. But if you didn't and you just genuinely think I'm stupid, here's me explaining what I'm trying to make. I'm trying to drive a point home by being sarcastic or putting a comical spin on things. But the fact of the matter is, there's nothing funny about this. There's nothing funny about people being hurt again. There's nothing funny about a public shooting, and there's nothing funny about the point I want to drive home here. And the point I am trying to make with this video is that, look at this. We have a situation where there's another public shooting, another bad person who's doing illegal things, hurting innocent people. But this time, it's in a place in the United States of America that gun laws are extremely, extremely strict. So all the efforts that people have made to make sure that it became extremely hard for an average person to get a gun legally made no difference at all. This is another point, another more proof that gun laws don't affect bad people, and they never, ever will. I don't care what kind of gun laws you come up with. I don't care what kind of stipulations you come up with. I don't care how impossible you make it to get a gun. If someone wants to do something like this, they will do this. Okay? That's the point I'm making. At the same time, I still support logical gun laws. And I think it's fair enough to say that the majority of the gun community, not just on YouTube, but the gun community as a whole in the world, whether you have a computer and hang out on YouTube or not, I think we all agree that there should be some stipulations. There should be some restrictions on gun purchases and ownership, and perhaps even carry, such as kids, little kids shouldn't have guns. That's fine. That's agreeable, right? Most people can agree on that. Of course, there's certain kids out there that are completely responsible. There's an 8-year-old boy somewhere that is responsible enough to have a full-size Glock 17 on his side. Okay, but as a whole, most kids, most children shouldn't have guns. All right, because there's more kids who are unresponsible as opposed to the kids who are. And when I use that example, I'm thinking of like just some random out west, farm boy who's been raised and been around guns and has the responsibility and the respect for them. Age doesn't always reflect responsibility. There's really responsible kids and really irresponsible adults. But generally speaking, no, kids shouldn't have guns. That's agreeable. Mentally unstable people shouldn't have guns. If you're in and out of a psych ward, the society as a whole agrees, yeah, no, you probably shouldn't give that individual a firearm. So there are some extremes that we all agree on. So I do support logical gun laws, but some of the ridiculous ones, come on, people. This is more proof. This event that happened this morning in New York City by the Empire State Building is just more proof that the gun laws do not affect bad people. You will never, ever stop bad people from doing bad things. That is a fact. So let's get our heads out of our butts and think logically here, okay? And in this particular instance, all these laws did would made it much harder for a good person in that area to be able to do something legally to help. That's all it is. Okay, and a bunch of people got hurt. And again, I don't want to go into details and stuff. I know some of the details, but I'm not 100% on it. It's by word of mouth, so who knows? Um, what eventually happened, I believe, is the police came and stopped the situation. Now, I think there were like 9 people who got hurt, whatever. But you know, if someone else in the area had a gun, a good citizen, would there be as many people who got hurt? Who knows? No one can ever say that. No one can tell. But I'll guarantee you this: the second that guy pulled the gun out, the cops weren't there. It took a couple minutes to get there. Okay, the cops can't be everywhere all the time. I love the saying, someone says, "Why do you carry a gun?" Because that's a go-to if you have a gun. People aren't used to that. Why do you carry a gun? That's like a very common question, gun people have. Why do you carry a gun? Because they don't understand it. Like, what are you afraid of? And I love the go-to answer. Well, I carry a gun because police officers are a little bit too heavy. I love that. It's funny. Kind of cracks the ice there, and they go, no, really, why do you carry a gun? And then you explain it, and half the time they still don't get it. But that's okay. Um, in all seriousness, my heart goes out to anyone who's involved. No one wants to have to deal with something like that. Even if there are people who are wounded and their wounds will heal and they'll have scars to remember this incident by, but mentally, they'll have to live with that every day. They'll go to work again feeling very uncomfortable, like something could happen again. Not everyone comes out of a traumatic experience fine. Like, okay, well, yeah, yesterday was a shooting, but tomorrow, whatever. Some people are going to be afraid for a very long time, and some people, their lives have been changed by this event. And where did this take place again? Where? A gun-free zone. This gun-free zone happens to be called New York City. That's all. So, look at the facts, people. That's all I'm saying. Enough said. You get my point here. And I repeated myself about 5 times. So I'm going to cut all that out. Boom, boom, boom. There's my points. And that's it. So it's something to think about. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate your time as always. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. See you guys soon. Take care.